Before we start, I'm gonna teach you a trick to know if your egg is good or bad. A good egg will always sink in the water. If you drop it in the water, it always sinks down. A rotten egg, on the other hand, will always float in the water. If you dropped it in the water, it always float. Why does it float? Because it's rotten. It has a lot of gases inside it. Well, so what do you do next? You throw it in the trash. Let's get started. Let's cook American food. But it's not American food. Well, it's not American food. You're tired of store-bought Croissant? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But whatever. Just a disclaimer. If you're an Italian, I'm really sorry. Hold on a second. This is just a footage of me apologizing to the Italian people for not respecting the croissant. But croissant has nothing to do with Italy. It's actually originated in Austria. So I'm sorry, Austria people, for disrespecting your meal or your bread type thingy. I don't know. Oh, we already rolled the intro, so yep. Go to the voiceover. So we will start by blooming our yeast. Add 1 tablespoon of yeast to 130 grams of water. Make sure the temperature is no more than 100 Fahrenheit. Feed your yeast mixture with 1 teaspoon of sugar. And just mix it and let it sit for 10 minutes and we will come back for it. For the dry ingredient, add 250 grams of flour, all-purpose flours or any other flour you like. Just don't use the self-raising one. Just go ahead and use all-purpose flour, don't use anything else. Alright, and add 1 teaspoon of salt. Well, here you see me adding a whole tablespoon of salt. No, that will make it super salt. 1 teaspoon will make it good. Alright, and then we will add 1 egg yolk. Alexa, stop. Alright, when your yeast is finally ready, add it to your mixture and add 3 tablespoons of molten butter. Make sure it's not super hot. I microwaved it and I had to put it in the fridge to cool it down a little bit. Alright, that's not really important. Let's just keep going. Then use your stand mixer and mix it for 3 minutes. Scoop the side as needed. If you don't have a stand mixer, don't worry. You can do it by your hand. Just mix it for 5 minutes. Yeah, just mix it with your hand. Make sure it's nice and shiny. When you finish mixing your dough, dust your working space with a little bit of flour and start shaping it as a ball. To shape it as a ball, first pull the side of the dough and fold them in, and then place your hand on the table and start going around the dough with your hand touching the table just like what I'm doing. And then when you're done with that, generously oil your bowl and put your dough there and let it rise for an hour to 2 hours or until it doubles in size. Make sure you cover it with a damp towel, like just wash the towel with the water, take all the water out of the towel and cover the bowl. Whatever, yeah, just let it rest for 2 hours and I will see you in 2 hours. 2 hours later, generously dust your working area and your dough with flour and then start dough. I don't know what you really call this action, rolling your dough maybe, I don't know. So whatever, if the dough starts resisting you, don't fight back, just do it as slowly as possible. It's not really important at this stage, it's going to be important later. And then when you get it to the square shape you need or rectangle shape you need, take 2 of the press and seal sheets and take your dough, put it there and cover it and let it rest in the fridge for 20 minutes. That will help the gluten to relax and it won't resist as much when we work on it later. "20 minutes later, get your dough out of the fridge and put it on your table. So start hitting it with the dough thingy because that will help expanding it way better than just trying to roll it as soon as you get it out of the fridge, and then roll it a little bit. Alright, so here's the important part. Now we're gonna start applying layers of butter. This is why butter is important. Use a really good quality butter because that's what your croissant will taste like. What I'm using right now is a locally made butter from the Amish community. You can get a European butter, you can get any other type of butter, but just pick a good quality one. If you don't have a good quality one, just use the normal one. But just trust me, a good quality butter ends with a good quality croissant. Alright, what we're gonna do now is just brushing the croissant with the butter and then folding it. Fold it the same way I'm folding it. Fold it like a book. One side and then the other side on top of it, and brush some more butter in between. And then after each fold, you're gonna cover it again and put it back in the fridge and let it chill for 10 minutes. We're trying to get the butter firm before we apply the other layer of butter. We are going to repeat this step for 3 or 4 times until we have enough layers. After your dough chilled 10 minutes in the fridge or until your butter firmed a little bit, take it out again and start rolling it the longer side of the triangle. I don't think it's very hard, it's not a math equation. Okay, and then we are gonna apply another layer of butter, and then we're gonna fold it again, let it rest for another 10 minutes, and then take it outside. Do again the same exact thing until we have 3 or 4 layers. I did 4 layers for this one. So just keep watching me doing it, and I will stop commenting on it and enjoy the music while I'm doing it. Alright, when you do it for the last time, just let it chill this time in the fridge for 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes. After 20 minutes, take it out and start rolling it until it's 1 centimeter thick. Yes, I'm not gonna tell you how much is it in inches. Go and grab your rulers. I'm waiting for you to grab your rulers. Alright, yeah, I'm still not telling you how much is it in inches. After you roll it, let it sit for 10 minutes. Alright, 10 minutes later, start cutting your triangles. I start by marking couple spot on one side and then going in between those marks on the other side and mark it again, and then just cut my triangles. Try to make them a little bit nice triangles, not like what I did. And then roll them from the fat side to the thin side and put them on your tray. When you put them on your tray, make sure you put the end, the small tip, that is the end of the rolling thing, at the bottom, because if you put it on the top, whenever they start rising, it's gonna just get open. So make sure it's on the other side, on the bottom. So repeat the same process for the rest of the croissants, and then give them an egg wash and let them sit for 2 hours. What I did, I put them in the oven with the oven lights on, and I put a damp towel on the rack on top of the bottom rack that they have been in, with a very small gap, so I just keep the crust from getting hard. After 2 hours, get them out of the oven and look at those layers. Before we cook them, you can see the layers. This picture shows you the layers. And then give them another brush with egg wash and put them in 400 degrees oven for 15 to 20 minutes, or until they are nice golden brown. Everyone liked it, and then when I tasted it, I realized I used a whole tablespoon of salt instead of a teaspoon of salt. So make sure you use teaspoon of salt. Yeah, I left you the ingredients down below. Just go and check them and follow them. Alright, thank you everyone for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you again in another cooking video. I don't know what's gonna be next. Probably a sushi or a root beer. Who knows?